Hey friends, welcome to another week here at Side Hustles by Seoenz. I am Heidi So, and my husband is Juan Carlos Enriquez, and together we are Seoenz. So he's not able to join with me today, but I definitely wanted to talk about this topic. It's called our Superhost Pet Peeves. And the reason that we decided to do this episode today, it's because recently I've seen a couple of articles about Airbnb pet peeves, but they're always coming from a guest perspective, right? So they're like, oh, what I don't like about, staying at someone's house or, at staying at someone's home, or why is this or why is that. So I've read a couple of articles in this past couple of weeks, and I was like, I definitely want to do something like this, but from a superhost perspective, because there's also, we love Airbnb. We love to have our Airbnb listings. We have over 30 properties on Airbnb, everything's always really good. But there's obviously certain things that's why they're called pet peeves. It's not something that breaks or makes, but it's just something that sometimes it's a little annoying. So I'm going to start off with, I think this is my number one pet peeve, and I'm pretty sure for a lot of hosts out there, this is probably going to be on the top of your list as well. And this is when they decide to bring in a pet or any animal without letting the host know prior. And a lot of my properties are not pet friendly. And this is why this is my biggest pet peeve, because, we advertise on not no pets allowed. Therefore, there's people that definitely stay because, hey, there's no pets allowed here. They might be very allergic to certain animals. I had a couple of people ask me, like, there ever been a cat in that premises? And I'm like, no, because they're like, I'm like super allergic to cats. Anyway, so it doesn't happen often, but it has happened where they haven't really let us know that they were gonna bring in, a pet. And I had to find out through cameras, where I see that they bring in an animal. So that's definitely my number one pet peeve. And sometimes when this is a service animal, we understand as hosts that we cannot deny access to a service animal. But I would definitely recommend our guests to look for pet friendly Airbnbs regardless, even if it's a service animal and we can't deny the entrance to a service animal or require a pet fee. We definitely, I recommend you guys to, hey, look for a actual pet friendly space. That way you let the guests know, they won't charge you, that you let the host know they won't charge you any pet fees because it's a service animal. But still, you're staying at a pet friendly space where the host is able to, they already know what to do, where pet hair, anything sort of cleaning that has to be done. So that's my number one pet peeve, when our guests do not let us know that they're bringing in pets or service animals to our homes. And then my second pet peeve would be automatically thinking that you're able to check in whenever you want. So a lot of times I have like, hey, can I do an early check in? But there's been times where the Airbnb app asks you like, "Oh, around what time would you like to check in?" And then you choose like 8 a.m. when our check-in time is 3 p.m. And then you arrive and you're like, "Well, I put 8 a.m. on the app." And it's kind of like, yes, but in the app it also states, as you're doing your reservation, that check-in is at 3 p.m. So, sometimes it's very hard to accommodate early check-ins, especially now with COVID protocols where our cleaning takes a little longer. But regardless, you shouldn't expect to just, walk in and be like, okay, I'm able to check in because that's what I put on Airbnb app. Like, no, like you still have to follow our check in and check out rules. The same thing goes with checkout, right? Late checkouts. Sometimes we have back to back bookings. So if you check out late without letting us know, then obviously, that's not even going to be a possibility. My staff knows that they have to be at the place at checkout time in order to get the house clean and have another check-in. Sometimes I already have someone that's going to come in at 4 p.m. or sometimes I don't, but I never block off my nights, so there's always a possibility that it might book again. So it's just very hard to accommodate early check-ins and late checkouts with all these COVID protocols going on. So um, that's my other pet peeve. That you don't communicate with your host about asking for an early check-in to even see if it's a possibility. You just assume that you're able to check in whenever you want. So definitely that's not something that I like. Another thing with that whole early check-in and late checkout is that you don't want to pay extra, yet you want to use the space for an entirety of the day. So I just had a guest ask me like, "Oh, we're gonna be arriving at 8 a.m. of this date, but we're also leaving until 10 p.m. of the date that they're leaving, like their checkout date." And I'm just like, great. 8 a.m., it's definitely too early to check in. My check-in is at 4 p.m. because we have to make sure that everything's ready, right? I might have someone leaving that same day. Their checkout is not until noon. So obviously I'm not gonna kick them out early just for them to be able to check in at 8 a.m., which is not even a possibility because how will I get the house cleaned, right, at that time? And then them leaving until 10 p.m., which is way past our checkout time. That's 10 hours past our checkout time. So our checkout time is at noon, and they're not leaving until 10 p.m. So, it's like I understand that you might be trying to save a couple of bucks, but you do also have to understand that by us letting you check out that late, we're also losing money here. Um, but anyway, so that was my other pet peeve. I don't have too many pet peeves, okay? Maybe that's me. What would be my next one? Hmm. Well, I talked about the pets. I talked about the early checkouts. My other pet peeve will be communication. I'm really great at communication. I love to send messages to our guests asking how everything's going, and that sometimes I never get a response, which is fine. That's fine. I don't mind that. What I mind is the fact that you never told me any sort of issue through a message that I would be able to resolve during your stay, yet you go out and write this huge review about all the things that went wrong, but you never gave me the opportunity to offer you a better service. Even though I was messaging you, even though I sent you a message when you came in, even though I sent you a message the first morning, even though I sent a message before checkout, even though I did all those things, you never communicated any of these things with me. And then you just decide to do this public review and let everybody know, like, about, oh my God, don't stay here or something like that. So that's definitely another of my pet peeves. It's that, if you as a guest are staying on an Airbnb, let your host know if there's something that you're not comfortable with. Let them know how they can make your stay better. Believe me, we jump hoops for you all. So if there's something that we're able to do, if there's something missing that will make your experience much more pleasurable, then I'm sure most of our hosts or super hosts out there, we will do so. But we need to know. We can't read minds. So if you don't communicate with me, if you don't send me a message when I'm messaging you, then there's no way of me knowing that, hey, I didn't like this pillow, or I thought there was gonna be a coffee, a certain coffee machine, and I didn't it and it's not here, or you know, there wasn't any, I don't know, like soap this is like I'm just making things up because in my properties that's never happened, but I have had that situation where they never let me know of anything and they just decide to do this, bad review for me. And I was just like, okay, I wish I would have gotten a heads up, and I'm sure that I would have been able to, accommodate you guys all. If you're not comfortable in this split in this apartment per se, you guys know that I have so many other properties that I would have been happy to move them to even a better property or a bigger apartment. But the fact that they never really said anything, then, I just thought everything was okay. But if you guys don't communicate, then, obviously we understand that you don't want to come out as picky or something. But, if it's your stay, you're paying for this. So obviously, let us know. The other pet peeve that I have will be this weird idea of, I don't know why now people think that you shouldn't be paying more to stay at an Airbnb than a hotel. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but you understand that by staying at an Airbnb, one of all, you're supporting local, okay? This is like the biggest local business that you can. You're supporting someone's mortgage. You're supporting someone's way of living. So you're doing this. And second of all, you're getting way much more than a hotel room. So if you're not coming to cook, if you're not coming for a long time, if you only need a place to crash, then yeah, I recommend you staying at a hotel. There's certain people that are not meant to be on an Airbnb. First of all, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, I'll check it out and I'll see if I like it." But they don't understand what Airbnb is. They think that this should be a hotel, but a cheaper hotel. No, it's not. Okay. When you're staying at an Airbnb, you're staying at someone else's home. Or now you're staying at great places that offer great experiences, that, have this great kitchen and that you're able to do all the things that you need to do and not feel like you're just in this, room, four walls. So a lot of our traveling professionals, they prefer to stay at an Airbnb than to stay at a hotel. But that doesn't mean that it has to be cheaper than a hotel. There's a lot of things that are offered through Airbnb. Our properties are not just, just heads in beds. So we offer a great experience. And I'm not trying to compete with a hotel. We don't compete with hotels at all. If there's certain people that should always stay at hotels, there's certain people that like to, do both, but we all need hotels regardless. There's no way, like, this industry is not something that you're competing with hotels. Like, I mean, those hotels, they are, franchises, they have all of these things. So we're not trying to do that. Again, like, we are offering an Airbnb experience. We're offering you to stay at our home. You're trying to live local. And that's what the difference is with Airbnb than if you stay just at a hotel. And I think my last pet peeve will be a guest thinking that I am their personal concierge. I am not a concierge. This is our home, or in some of the times, mm, it's our investment properties. And we love our investment properties, but and they're great, but I'm not your concierge. So I'm not at your beck and call. And I think it's really weird when I get sometimes like calls at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. And I'm just like, I answer because I understand my point of view that, hey, I want to make sure that you're okay. But, there's certain things that you just really can't, always be there. So, that will be, my last pet peeve. For me, like, I'm not your concierge means I'm not going to be there 24/7. I wish I could, but I can't. I still have a family. I still have things to do. I still like to sleep. But this is just gonna be like, hey, if there's little things during our day that we're able to help you with, then definitely, we're more than happy. But there's certain times that we are just not available. And I would think that people will think that and understand that, hey, like I can't just be calling at, these times of night. Um, but there's people that don't get that. So I guess that was all. I guess you could see this as like a little vent, but I definitely didn't want to feel it that way. I just wanted to point out that Airbnb, we love Airbnb. Our properties are all on Airbnb, but there's certain things that our Airbnb guests don't get. And if you guys are Airbnb guests that are staying, like please let your host know if you're gonna bring pets. Please let them know like that if there's something that you're annoying with or something's happening, or if there's an issue with your apartment or where you're staying. I understand it's not the best, to have issues while you're staying at someone's home, but it can happen. So communicate with them, let them, go above and beyond for you. We love to give treats, like our dulce de leche. If there's anything that we're able to do, we'll definitely try and make up for it, understand what's going on, listen to you, and respect, the fact that we are also human. We also like to sleep. uh, so that's pretty much the things that respect our rules, our house rules, and then just follow through. I'm already now, of the years that I've been hosting on Airbnb, I've already hosted more than 1,500 reservations. So again, these are just little things that have come up and I've noticed, but they're not just like, oh my God, this is gonna make it or break it. Like it's not. I just definitely wanted to put it out there, just like I've been seeing other guests, putting their pet peeves for Airbnb hosts. So I think this was gonna be like a good change of my pet peeves for Airbnb guests. Um, but yeah, if you guys want to learn more about it, or if you guys are interested about being on Airbnb, I think like the things that I mentioned are just very like silly things, I would say now. But we are offering Airbnb workshops for you all, if you guys want to join the industry, or if you guys are already in the industry and you guys want us to take care of your cleaning and your maintenance. We do have our new branch called Hospitality Cleaning and Maintenance, HCM, made by Seoenz. So if you guys want to check that out, you're able to check it out on our website. You can also email me at heidi@seoenz.com. You can find us on our Instagrams at EPTX Airbnb or Made by Seoenz, Facebook, YouTube. You guys can let us know. If there's anything that we can help you with, we'll be happy to do so. And of course, here is our website. That is seoenz.com. So, I'm really happy to do this live, and for you guys to just keep following us about what we do. And hopefully you guys will like to join this Airbnb industry, even if there are some pet peeves that me myself as a, you know, long super host. I've been a super host for quite a while now. But we're definitely happy to teach you guys all the things Airbnb. So thank you so much for watching this episode, and we'll see you next week. Bye bye. Wait, let me see how I ended.